This is a charity gig, remember, guys? Always a charity
Always
gig.
a charity gig. It's like Christmas.
I put it on backwards!
I learned things.
So did I. Hi, girls, gays and nays. Welcome to Tucked and Talking.
The podcast where we talk absolute shite.
Because we love the sound of our own voices.
Cheers!
Cheers! Episode 5, bitches!
Season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Season two.
Sure.
What are the fucking other episodes in the season?
I know. Welcome on back, everybody. We're now here. It's the end of the month.
The month.
It's
Yeah.
the start of a new one.
Start
I
of a new
know.
one.
And we're
Gorgeous.
here and queer.
Here, queer.
And again,
Pastoria,
our sponsors,
Icon.
as always.
As
Jen, tell us
always.
more.
Tell us more.
About
Tell us
Icon.
about Icon.
Oh my god, fabulous venue. Drag shows, drag queens. We've got Drag Queens Cabaret every Friday and Saturday
Oh,
through
yeah.
December, and hopefully some more dates in the new year. Some great queens.
Yeah.
Check out the Instagram, Drag Queens Cabaret. Check out Icon's Instagram. Yeah, come down and see us. Have a bevy and a boogie.
You sounded like you were doing the T's and C's at the end of the
Yeah.
T's and C's,
I don't
yeah.
think it's just fine. Tax charge at standard network rate.
Don't forget to ask an every tea.
So we've got quite a special show today, haven't we?
Oh,
'Cause
yes.
We've got a very special guest with us.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited. It's
I'm
our
Do you
first
excited.
guest.
want to do an intro?
Yeah.
Let's do our intro, okay.
Okay, wait. Cut.
Tucked and Talking, please welcome Zav from the LGBT Foundation.
Woo! So, welcome. Tell us more about yourself, babe.
Okay, so I'm Zav. I work for LGBT Foundation. LGBT Foundation in Liverpool are part of something called the PASH Partnership. So we work with BHA for Equality and George House Trust, working to help our communities in Liverpool access really good sexual health advice and information. Really importantly, we also want to make sure that people are able to get out there and enjoy the sex that they want to go out and have.
I mean, who doesn't want to enjoy sex, right?
Absolutely.
I know I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Come on. Sausage down the corridor. Okay.
That's going to make a return every episode, isn't it?
We spend a lot of our lives growing up as queer people being told that the sex that we want to have is dangerous or,
Yes.
or not good. And actually, we're really here to want to change that. We want to make sure that people can enjoy sex, but do it in a way that's there and they're safe for our communities and for people to be able to enjoy life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel
love
like
that.
there's such a stigma around like gay sex as well.
That is.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I came out like a few years ago to my family and stuff, like my dad still said like, oh, he was like, just be careful. I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, just be careful. Like I grew up in the 80s and I've also heard like similar friends my age. So that stigma still exists
Does.
around that older generations still think there's that stigma. And I don't think there is, or there should be anymore.
No.
So,
I think when it comes to dating apps, and we've got a show later on in the month about dating, there is a stigma for what I see anyway about like hooking up culture, especially with the term like, are you clean? Now, I spoke about it before, that word itself insinuates that having something along the lines of like chlamydia, gonorrhea, HIV implies that you're a dirty person.
Yeah.
And that's completely not true at all.
No, not at all. What's really important is to test regularly. Really, keep on top of your sexual health. If you're having multiple different partners, testing about once every 3 months or so is really good thing to build into your routine. There's loads of different ways that you can test in Liverpool, including getting information and advice from us about how to do that.
Absolutely.
So that's on our website, lpash.org.uk. You've also got loads and loads of different things that we do kind of locally to support our community to challenge this stigma. World AIDS Day is coming up on Friday, the 1st of December. That's a really, really important event in the calendar. There's a vigil. There'll be people from our organisation there, but also from other organisations locally, the rest of the PASH Partnership, Sahir House, and others in the community to make sure that people are there to remember what's being, but also to recognise that HIV has changed.
Yeah.
People live long, healthy, happy lives. People on treatment can reach something called undetectable. Have you heard of U equals U?
Yeah.
U equals U, marvellous. It means that if someone's on effective HIV treatment, they cannot actually pass the virus on to anybody else when they reach an undetectable viral load level. Talking about viral loads and stuff might sound all kind of like big and sciencey. It's not, The whole reason we're around is to be able to have a chat with people, help people understand what's there, and make the most out of, sex and relationships, and also access things like PrEP. You've heard of PrEP. And also PEP, which is like an emergency medication that if you might have been exposed to HIV, the sooner you take it, but you can have up to 72 hours to access that, and you can access that through sexual health clinics or in an emergency department at the hospital if they're closed. So lots of really important things and messages to get out there. So as well as being there, having fun and enjoying sex, we're there to make sure that you can have the information that you need to enjoy sex in the best way for you.
Yeah. Now, I know obviously a lot of people going to a sexual health clinic can be quite daunting experience, especially as an LGBTQ plus person. And I've never had the best experience either going to them. But there is a new test that I have seen for HIV, which is a gum test online, which you can now
I've done that before, but I couldn't find the link again. So I've only used it once.
Yes.
But then I can't find it anywhere else again.
Yeah, so there are lots of different ways to test when it comes to like all STIs really, and you know how you access it. Some people will do tests at home. Some people will attend clinics. You know, there's lots of different ways in how you get involved with that.
Yes.
If you ever want to access support around the type of testing that's right for you, or otherwise, you can always talk to us around that. That's really important. You mentioned about the type of test that you said there with the gum. So sometimes that's available through different funders or otherwise from there. It's like, you know, the way that people access testing and the type of test can vary a little bit. Sometimes you might need a bit of help in hand to kind of like navigate that. But the point that we want to make is that it is actually really easy to access HIV and STI testing. You know, build it into your routine, you know, and talk about it with your friends and your partners. You know, talking about it is the biggest thing.
I mean, this is one of the things as well. I think everyone thinks that it's just something for the LGBTQ plus community, but it's not. Wasn't it like last year or the year before, like the amount of heterosexual people took over the amount of homosexual people that were contracted with the HIV?
Yeah, I don't know if that was just Scotland. I feel like I've seen something, but it was someone was telling me that it's you know, in Scotland now that people with like who are contracted HIV, it's more in straight people than homosexual people, which is, you know, that's going to change. It'd be interesting to see the stigma and how that changes.
So, I mean, I think the big thing around this is that, you know, anybody can be living with HIV.
Of course,
You know, we don't like to talk about things like in terms of like contracting or catching or being infected, because HIV is something that many people live with and live long, healthy, happy, successful lives. And what's really important around that is, you know, if you testing is a form of prevention. You know, if you know your status, that's a form of prevention in itself. When we talked about you equals you. You've also got other kind of things that, you know, when you think about kind of like sexual health and well-being, you know, people do come across STIs when you have sex. It's you know,
it's a natural
it's like
thing.
You could catch a cold when you're in close environments with people, you know, from there. So, you know, there are lots of different you know, there are lots of different things for people to think about when it comes to health and well-being. And treating sex is just another part of your sexual health. Your sexual health is just another part of your health and well-being.
Absolutely.
And that's a really important way to kind of think about how you can.
I think it's quite interesting as well that a lot of like TV series and shows have targeted like HIV at the moment as well. I remember quite a long time ago. Oh, bloody hell!
Oh no!
Oh no! There you go. It's by your foot. Right one. On Emmerdale, Valerie, she contracted HIV, and then she set up like a foundation stuff through the show, and it was really interesting. That was years ago, and then as well there was It's a Sin, and that made a lot of people think about the stigma. And then at the moment I'm watching on Paramount Plus My Fellow Traveller or Fellow Travellers.
Yeah, I've seen that advertised. You know what? It keeps coming up on my feed, and I do actually have Paramount Plus. But I'm
fucking watch it. I've binged it in a night. It's amazing.
I'm so short of time at the moment. I really do want to watch it though.
You won't regret it. There's some very raunchy scenes in that.
Oh, lovely.
We do love a raunchy scene.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's basically like gay 365 days.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like the gay version of 365 days.
Well,
have a bit of that.
Okay.
You might want to watch it alone or with your partner, not with like friends.
Oh, okay.
Not with your mum.
It's not to watch with your mum.
Not with your mum. Not with no.
Scotland have just released like the first HIV advert as well, haven't they? In over like 40 years, and it's not just on like the HIV itself; it's on the stigma around it and the external factors that have a huge impact. And I think that's something as well, because when I've been talking specifically to my straight friends, they seem to really struggle to understand, like, it's not a death sentence. Like,
I was just going to say this,
I mean, you know, obviously I work for an LGBTQ plus organisation, so I'm more in the place to talk about our communities. But we do know that in terms of like among straight women, for example, or that that people often get diagnosed a lot later in those communities than say, for example, in communities that test more kind of regularly. So just getting out that message to test, remembering with World AIDS Day just around the corner, there are AIDS was something that holds and is something that holds trauma attached to it.
Definitely.
There's a lot of memory and a lot of difficulty experiences that people have gone through. Lots of queer people lost their lives during that time. Lots of other people as well. We're talking about people from Black and ethnic minority communities as well, and in other countries as well.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking about about cis white queer men as an example. For me, it's really important that that we're intersectional about that. But it's also really important to remember that actually, as well as HIV having changing, we need to look to the future.
Yes.
There's a real opportunity for us to make sure that nobody is newly picks up HIV in the next after 2030. So that's and there's a real opportunity for that, and it's really important that people test. Use the tools that are available, PEP and PrEP, as I mentioned to you beforehand, and we can make sure that all that kind of information is available on our site for you to see.
I feel like there's a bit of a knock-on effect from like the stigma of HIV to testing, because I feel like because a lot of people see it as a scary thing, and as you said, like some of your friends felt like it was a death sentence to contract HIV, which obviously it isn't. I feel like that also then leads on to people being scared to test as well. Like I know, like when I was like single and sleeping with lots of people, I was already really scared to go to the test centre, and then when I finally did, it's not like a scary experience at all.
I mean, condoms and lube are obviously a really key element to to sexual health more generally, not just for HIV, but for a range of STIs that you come across. In fact, believe it or not, we've got lots of places around Liverpool that you can pick up these little bags that we have.
Not that kind of bag.
Not that kind of bag.
Genevieve,
not that kind of bag. Genevieve,
you always have to drag it into the gutter.
You know what? The tone. I knew the tone was going to go there. I've listened to this podcast already. I've seen what goes on.
In 5 minutes of us being on air.
I've seen. I know where these things go.
Now walk us through these little.
I want to.
So with these safer sex packs, so these are great.
I have gloves on.
So
I'm
going to come to the camera. I'm going to show them.
This is camp. I love this.
It's like Christmas.
So these safer sex packs, first thing to think about is that you do have this little leaflet inside that is being held up at the camera right now. That's a really useful thing here because it gives you lots of information around testing, PrEP, PEP, new equals you, all those kind of things we were talking about at the beginning that we need to think about from there.
Yeah.
And within your pack, you have a couple of condoms,
keeping these for later.
Yeah, a couple of condoms, and very importantly, some lubricant.
We love a
bit of lube. So, if you do source your own condoms and like from that, it's really important to remember that you use water-based lube. Like a lot of people sometimes still make the mistake around using oil-based lubes when it comes to condoms. But they can actually have like a detrimental effect on the effectiveness of the condoms. So water-based lube is the best type of lube to use with condoms. You can, in some instances, use silicone-based for different, things like sex toys or otherwise from there as well. But it can sometimes cause.
Because some people are allergic, aren't they?
That's really informative.
And you know what? If you are allergic to the latex condoms, there are plenty of ways to access condoms that you won't be allergic to. There are latex-free condoms, and you can order them through us as well.
Oh, stunning!
Smells like sun cream.
Oh my god, shall we do a competition of who can put one on the best?
Yeah, I've kind of unravelled mine. Just for anyone that isn't aware of what a
I've
condom
got
is.
another one.
This is a condom. This is a nice large condom.
I think actually, Shall we have a little go?
Yes.
Let's have a little competition.
Did anyone in school, right? Before we go on to this, we had to do a competition year 9 in our sexual health class in science. We had to put on a race to put on a condom on a dildo with beer goggles on.
So,
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh,
I did
we've done that. Yes.
okay, so that was much more advanced than the sexual health that I learned at school. When I was at school. Now, I think I'm a little bit older than you three lovely queens.
That was horrible, you
Yeah, I know. You were like,
No.
Jen
I
is
am.
actually 37.
Yeah.
So Jen is 37. She's older than the pyramids of Giza. We've now figured it out.
You're older than
So-
me.
So I all of my compulsory schooling was under Section 28, which you'll have
Oh,
heard
fuck.
beforehand.
No,
it's Margaret
Mark-
Thatcher.
that's one.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
so Section 28 wasn't actually repealed until 2003. I actually left school in 2003, so
oh my god.
so actually all of my compulsory schooling was under Section 28. So there's a lot of kind of things to think about from there. So all we were taught about were when anything gay was like, oh, gays, you're gonna get AIDS and die, was basically was basically the message in the school that I was
It's
at.
heartbreaking though.
That perpetuated a lot of the stigma that's around
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And so it's really important. So that's another reason why it's so important to get that message out that that's not what it is. And really any condoms that we did get to try within a class, we had to use bananas. Now I hate the thought of using bananas.
So you have a
for that.
rule, right?
Yeah, my rule when it comes to talking to people about condoms or any promotions that we put out is no bananas.
No bananas.
No.
No bananas.
No
we have
bananas.
tiny plastic willies.
Use
We
a
don't have
willy.
Use a
Ah.
willy or a dildo. Okay.
Right, go on.
There we go.
God love a willy.
I think I'm gonna be shit at this.
Okay, who wants to go first then?
You.
I will, because I'm the slut. So, Ruby, hold
You
my
should be
penis.
really
You should be last, you prick.
What? Because I'm the expert.
I haven't put a condom
I'm
in
not,
anything for
I'm not.
ages.
Uh,
I've
It's
not
a
had
wiggly
a
one.
shag for a long
It's
time.
It's a wriggly one.
Oh no! It's a bit excited,
It's a bit
everybody.
drunk, this one.
Oh, okay. So we squeeze the tip, right,
Okay.
and then roll down the
That's
shaft,
Oh,
and then leave
perfect.
a little bit there for the sperm to collect.
Perfect fit.
So
Would you say that was good?
Do you know what? I'm going to give you a 9 out of 10. For
Oh my
that
god!
one.
9 out of 10, ladies.
Yeah. To get a 10 for me takes quite a lot.
Oh,
okay.
Pass it this way, bitch.
Okay, let me just whip her off.
God, he's
My
having
bed-
an exciting night tonight, isn't he?
This new thing on the table is my bed sheets. So
Oh.
these need to
Oh,
fucking-
I
God.
thought they smelled
They've
bad.
been washed. Fucking hell. But they're gonna need a new wash after this.
Yes,
Okay, Jen, I'll hold my willy.
It's got to
so
have
you
loads
can-
of pink fur on it. It's got to have a pink fairy
Yeah, it
willy.
is. Sorry, Ruby.
Can you
using
hold
this
it
later.
still, please? Oh my god, this is embarrassing.
This is-
Stop it!
It's how it pulsates.
I really hope my dad's
Come
not
on.
watching this.
Oh,
I put it on backwards! I fucked it! Hold it still! There we go, that was
There
good.
we go. That was okay.
It's on.
It's
it's
on.
mangled.
Question, has anyone ever lost one inside them?
I was just going
I've
to say this.
done
I have
that
the,
so many
I have
times.
the scariest story.
If that happens, do you know what to do?
No.
No.
Shit
Okay.
it out. I don't know.
So obviously the
It's
idea
a
is to
pet.
remove it from there.
Yeah.
But if that happens and you are not sure on the status of someone, or whether they're living with HIV or if they are living with HIV, they're not undetectable, and you're not on PrEP,
Yeah.
you can access PEP.
Yeah.
Yes.
beforehand.
Yes.
And that all that information is available at lpash.org.uk. There's a whole section on PEP. You can see about accessing that in Liverpool. But it's really important that you start that with 72 hours. The closer you are to the zero, the better.
Right.
Okay.
The most effective it is at that point. But you can access PEP as an emergency medication if that were to happen.
I think that's what I did.
I have
So
such
if you were just to chat though, obviously, because I know some people are scared of like blood tests, etc. If you think you have had sexual contact with someone that may have HIV, would you have to have a blood test to go on the PAP itself?
So it's really important that when any medication is given to people, that it's that you're on the right medication. So,
Yes,
like as an
of course.
example, if someone's starting PrEP or PEP and they're and they might and you're living with HIV already, but it's not being treated,
Yes.
then that can cause a bit of resistance to the medication that kind of comes through. It's easily dealt with these days most of the time. There's really excellent professionals that are able to deal with that. But it is really important to to have that test to make sure that you're not there's when it comes to having blood tests, and I know I'm not the biggest fan of needles.
Yeah,
A lot
God,
of people
no.
are not the biggest fan of needles. And in a lot of cases, depending on the type of test that you're doing, a lot of the home testing kits, for example,
It's a
would just
finger
be
prick.
a finger prick.
Yeah.
And if it's from your arm, remember that the people who have done that have done so many of them that that they're really good. And actually, do you know what? Everywhere that I've been and met clinicians that do that kind of do that kind of thing are so used to people that are scared. Just tell them that you're nervous; they'll really help you out.
Yes.
I always do it. Don't count down. I'm not gonna look. Just do
stab
it.
me.
Yeah.
Just talk to them.
Because if I watch it, it's scary.
Yeah.
If they count me down, I'm like, ah!
You know it's
But
coming.
if I just don't know, it's just like. And I'm
not bothered about needles. It's the blood. I think it's the fact that blood's coming out of me. I'm like, if I don't,
I don't mind things going in me, but things coming out.
That
ain't normal. That ain't normal.
So it's just something to remember about when you're doing that. And if you keep your routine around your testing and talking with your partners, you're going to be in the best place.
Amen.
I think communication is key.
And I think these are brilliant as well.
So good.
They're fun as well. Like they look, they're enticing. You know what I mean?
And it's
Like
a
sweetie
practical.
bag.
It's a rubbish bag at the end of it.
Fucking hell.
Taking that to
You should have been the slut, not me.
Well,
I've used these before. Love, don't you worry.
But no, I do think things like this are brilliant because you get information, you get protection in that, and of course you get lubricant as well. I feel like that is one thing people forget. Lube.
No.
And spit is not lube.
No.
Spit
I
is
ended
not
up in
lube.
hospital once in sixth form. Yeah, from no lube.
And now she's got a sausage
I was
down
like-
the door.
I was like,
hemorrhoid, did you, babe?
I thought I was on my period. It's horrible.
Oh no!
I was walking to sixth form like, oh, that's
So
hospital. It's horrible.
lube is an essential. Lube is a really important part of safe sex.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
100%.
I feel like we've all made the mistake of doing that. No lube.
Oh, we are.
So where in Liverpool and the wider northwest area can you find your services?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Liverpool, we actually at the LCVS building have a little space in there where we kind of like base ourselves out of locally. But we do actually have lots of different stalls and events that we do. So we're very regularly at Liverpool University Students' Union, for example.
Love that.
We also have lots of different stalls and events that we do, throughout the city. Lots of different ways to be able to kind of access that from there. The best thing to do to kind of like see where we're going to be at any particular time is to have a look at our socials.
Okay.
So both the LGBT Foundation socials, which you'll see about services that we have in Greater Manchester and Liverpool, and then on the LPASH socials, which is just LPASH on Insta and also on Twitter /X, whatever the space cameras call it these
letter L
days.
or EL.
L, the letter L for Liverpool. Letter L for Liverpool.
Gorgeous.
PASH. PASH stands for passionate about sexual health. So
Fabulous. And we'll also have information on how to reach the LGBT Foundation and LPASH on our socials as well.
Absolutely, we will.
Through our TikTok and our Instagram.
Yes.
World AIDS Day is on the 1st of December. It's the 1st of December every year.
Yes.
Okay. But we're doing a number of events both on World AIDS Day and then kind of like surrounding it as well to make sure that we kind of keep the theme around it and people to get able to get access as much as we can. So on the 29th of November, so Wednesday the 29th, between 12 and 4, we're at Liverpool Central Library. So we've got a World AIDS Day themed outreach stall there.
Amazing.
So you'll be able to pick up things like our sex guides, lots of different things like condoms and lube, and otherwise you can access that there as well. And also, pick up some testing kits as well. You've also got on actual World AIDS Day itself, there's a vigil outside Liverpool Parish Church.
Okay.
So Lauren, our head of sexual health, is going to be there, but we're also going to have a really important time to remember those who are lost, but also think about how HIV has changed, challenge that stigma, and move forward from there afterwards. On the 2nd of December, we are at the World Museum, National Museums of Liverpool World Museum, and that's another outreach stall, and there's lots happening there. So there'll be you might have heard of the quilts before. If you look up HIV quilts online, you'll see it kind of comes up from there. They'll be showcased. There'll be lots of like speakers and performers and like so that's a really kind of like major event that will come in to really soak up the environment. And then on the 5th of December, so just coming afterwards, we've got our kind of like our regular stall that we do at the Liverpool Guild of Students, which will also be World AIDS Day themed at that point as well.
Okay.
Stunning. That's fabulous. Yeah.
That'll also all be on our socials as well.
Yes,
all
we'll
the
link
events that are
everything
coming up for World AIDS Day.
Do all the links, darling.
Yeah, all the links will be on our socials, so check them out. If If there's any queers, slide into our DMs. We're always open.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Brill.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
coming,
having
Sav.
me. This has been a lot of fun.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you for
Honestly.
being our first ever guest.
I know.
Yeah.
First
Ever.
On our
Yeah.
Tucked and
Yeah.
Talking podcast.
Thank you so
It's
much.
been an absolute honour to meet you. We
Thank
can't
you
wait to
so-
see you again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll come back again some point. Hopefully.
Yes,
Fabulous.
definitely.
Very much.
Okay, brilliant.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Fabulous. But what did you all think then? That was fucking fabulous.
That was brilliant. You just
Yeah.
said you would learn something.
I have learnt things today.
I'm
Yeah,
glad.
thank you so much, Cesar from the LGBT Foundation,
Yes.
for coming along and chatting to us and educating us all on sexual health and the events coming up for World AIDS Day.
And make sure to check on our socials for all of the information
Yeah.
that I've said, all the links to the socials, all the dates. Get yourselves there.
Yeah, fabulous. Cheers to
Cheers.
episode 5.
Cheers, quiz.
Episode 5. See you soon.
Bye.
Amazing.